You've never shot an arrowhead like this before.
What if someone created broadheads that advanced them to the next level? What if this advancement provided you with the results that have never been seen in the archery field? What if that person used 45 plus years of experience and knowledge to create this advancement in broadheads? Would you as a hunter be interested in using these designs to achieve results that can't be found in any current broadhead design? In the next few minutes, we will show you these advancements that have taken broadheads to the next level.
Hey, Kenny here with Fire in the Hole Broadheads. What you just saw was the exit wounds from my broadhead designs. Over the years, there's been good advancements in the archery industry. When I first started, I was shooting this 40-pound recurve. And back then we were shooting, you know, the old aluminum arrows. Now we shoot the carbon arrows with lighted nocks. We've got advancements in trail cameras, range finders, our clothing's better, everything's better, high-speed bows with sights, everything's been advanced except for one aspect of the industry, and that would be broadheads, because all broadheads are still 2, 3, or 4 blade, fixed or mechanical. They make a 1 to 2 inch cut. That's why I started Fire in the Hole Broadheads, because I wanted to take broadhead technology to the next level. I wanted to make the most lethal broadheads on the market. I want to make broadheads that will put animals down as fast as physically possible. With my 2 designs, I have accomplished that. I have a fixed blade broadhead that makes a 1 inch hole. It actually takes the hole out of the animal. It will remove a 1 inch plug out of that animal. And I have a 4 inch mechanical that makes a 4 inch cut. Now your lethal shot is anything between the front leg and the back leg. With that kind of performance, that elevates these broadheads above other designs. So let's explore the different aspects of these designs. The fixed broadhead that we call the Sidewinder. The reason we call it Sidewinder is you've got a triangulated ferrule here, and the blades are screwed on the side. They're offset. They're over to the side of the ferrule. What this does is twofold. These are single beveled blades, and then being offset to the side. As the air comes over them, this broadhead will spin clockwise as it's going to your target. That helps with your accuracy, and also when it gets to your animal, it will continue to spin all the way through the animal. What that will give you is better penetration. So even on lower poundage bows, 50 pounds and up, this broadhead will go right on through the deer. This is our fixed blade broadhead that we call the Sidewinder, and it's a regular 3-bladed fixed broadhead, just like any other fixed broadhead on the market. It breaks and it cuts, and when the ring comes along, it takes care of all the damage that you've already done. From here up, it's just like a regular 3-bladed fixed broadhead. You break it, you cut it, and the ring comes along and takes a 1 inch hole completely out of your animal. Anything that passes through this ring right here will be gone. It's the only broadhead on the market that actually takes the material completely out. It will make a 1 inch hole, take a 1 inch plug out of your animal.
Let me tell you about a product we use here on the Outdoor Factor. And I was skeptical about it, I'm not going to lie, and it's Fire in the Hole Broadheads. Basically, it's just a typical broadhead, 3-blade replacement blade broadhead, and it has what I call the cookie cutter in it. So you got the 3 slices, it's got a circle, these are blades actually cut, and it basically cleans the hole out. And what the end results is a perfectly round hole. As you can see here, this hole, it went right through the shoulder, and there is a perfectly round hole. So what happens when you have a perfect hole that can't close up? Stuff runs out of it. That stuff is blood. That helps us recover the animal. Even though there's such a big hole that their lungs and stuff actually collapse and they don't run very far. 30 yards, your animal's dead. If you make a halfway decent shot, they don't go far. Lots of blood. And with the Fire in the Hole, you just walk right up to the animal. Well, how does it fly? Because I thought the same thing. I shoot out to 80 yards. This thing was dead on, right on with my field tips. If you have a good tuned bow this will shoot right with your field tips with no problem. And the question you're thinking right now, well, that thing has no penetration. I've been shooting all my hogs in the shoulder with these broadheads. I go through one shoulder, it sticks in the other side of the shoulder. My hog goes 30, and there's blood everywhere. I mean, you can't beat it. So I'm thinking, if this does this to a hog, what's going to happen when this deer walks out that's thin-skinned? I think I'm going to have a deer on the ground pretty quick. I'm 100% satisfied with firing the whole broadhead. Kenny has made a fabulous broadhead. You wouldn't think so. It's kind of different. But sometimes change, difference, is not a bad thing. And right now, I don't think there's a better broadhead out there, to be honest.
10 minutes, shooting light left. I hear some rustling in the leaves behind me. Off to my right, about 50, 60 yards in the woods, and I see some deer coming up, and they're entering the field. I can tell there's 3 or 4 deer there, and as they come up, they're starting to come up and they're getting into the food plot in front of me. About 30, 40 yards out, I see 3 deer in there, some of them kind of fighting and pawing each other. Yards. Big nanny coming 30 yards. Firing the whole broadhead, took her down immediately. Awesome. So I draw back, turn it loose. That firing the whole broadhead knocks her down. She doesn't take a step. She doesn't take a single step. It hits her, she falls, dead as a doornail, on the spot. Just like she'd been shot with a bullet. It was crazy. Firing a whole broadhead, I mean, it took a chunk out of her and knocked her down dead. It was the best kill with archery that I've ever experienced.
Solid hole too. Chunks. Stuff everywhere. Right where I shot the deer at. I don't know if you can see that.
Just like I always do, I let that fire in the whole rip. I made a bad shot. And there's really no one you can blame but yourself when you hit a deer that far back at 12 yards. Whether I pulled my bow off to the side after I released or whether I did it before I released, I really honestly can't recall. But yeah, that's on me. I made a bad shot. And I'll tell you this right now, I've had double lung shots on deer that didn't bleed as much as this paunch shot, liver shot doe with a fire on the whole broadhead stuck in her. I tell you, when this deer hit the logger road, it opened up, and it was almost... When I saw that blood trail, my hopes raised up, and I was like, okay, this is good. A deer usually doesn't bleed this much and make it away. I think we made it about 30 yards down the logging road, found her piled up on the side. All my stress was alleviated. I'm happy. I got the monkey off my back, first deer of the year, and you can't beat it. Well, what the best shot in the world, but she didn't go far.
Order your Sidewinder today at www.fireinthehole.com. Elevate your broadhead performance to the next level. With a broadhead which cuts a true 1-inch hole through your animal, you will experience results you've never seen before. You will be amazed by the devastation and accuracy produced by this broadhead. Order a pack of Sidewinder broadheads and experience the next level at www.fireenthehole.com. Get you some. You won't be disappointed.
kidding. Wow. Wow. Fire in the whole broadheads are no freaking joke, dude. Are no freaking joke. I want y'all to look at this. That broadhead right there, that thing is crazy. This broadhead is insane. I'd say 30 yards, and it's down right there. I've got a lot of stuff right here so you guys couldn't see it. Wow.
Okay, here it is. The only 4-inch broadhead on the market. Called a Tomahawk, the 1x4 Tomahawk. And the first question they always get asked is, how's it fly? People look at this design, and because it looks different, and I know guys, it looks different. Of course it has to look different. If you can make a 4-inch broadhead that looked like a regular conventional broadhead, the ones that we're used to and stuff, it would have already been done. This is the design they came up with that I could actually get to 4 inches. And here's the simple part of it. Put all the weight in the blades. That's how it's done. We'll get to that. I'm going to talk about the accuracy. The accuracy. When people look at this, they're like, it doesn't have any point. There's no point. How is it going to fly without a point? It flies just fine because it has 2 cut-on contact, single beveled blades. They're single beveled blades. That's the key to it. The reason I use single bevel blades is real simple. You have to have a cutting surface over top of the ferrule, right? You have to have a cutting surface over that. So this blade is sharp all the way down and even across here, going this way and then going this way. So it comes together and makes a cutting point over top of your ferrule. That's our single bevel blades. That's why we use them. And when it shoots, the air comes up over this blade, down over this one, and it will spin clockwise all the way to your target. And then once it gets to the target, it's going to spin through that animal. So you got 4 inches of spinning through that animal. Just like the riflings in a bullet. You can take your fletching off of your arrow and shoot this broadhead and it will still spin. The single bevel blades will make it spin. That's what gives us the accuracy.
My name is Brandon Scher, and I've been shooting fire in the hole broadheads for 3 years now. Number 1, it has to be accurate. I want my broadhead to fly like a field tip. I want to be able to go out, target practice on a regular basis, shoot my bow year round, and know when I put that broadhead on that it's going to fly just like a field tip and just like I expect that arrow to fly. And that's exactly what you get with a fire in the hole broadhead. So the very first time I saw this broadhead was at the Richmond, Virginia show, and I went over and I was talking to Kenny, and I saw this broadhead and I was intrigued by it, but my number 1 question was, Kenny, how is this thing gonna fly? And Kenny's exact response to me was, Brandon, I want you to go home and shoot it. He said, I want you to shoot a field tip first, and then I want you to shoot this broadhead, but please film it for me. And so that's what we did. I went home, I set up a target at 30 yards, and I shot my field tip first. Then I fired the arrow with a fire in the hole, and that first shot with the fire in the hole literally cut one of the fletchings off of my arrow, and that answered my question immediately as far as the accuracy of this broadhead.
We're going to show you the mechanics of this broadhead. It's the only controlled expansion broadhead on the market. That's what this angle does right here. It allows it to open at the right speed, so when it gets inside your vitals, it's fully open to a full 4 inches when it hits your vitals. But it only makes a 7/8 of an inch as it goes in. Makes this small hole right here, and then it's designed to stab in and cut to the side. We use the single beveled blades so that when it becomes fully open, it has a cutting surface over top of the center of the ferrule. That's what allows you to cut through your bones. When it comes in, it's open to the full 4 inches through your vitals, all the way through your animal, and it exits at 4 inches, giving you the largest exit wound on the market. unbelievable blood trails. When everyone looks at this broadhead, the thing that they always miss, is the thickness of those blades. You can't have a 4-inch broadhead like this and not have these big, thick blades. What I like to do is I like to get in customers' hands and have them try to bend it, and they can't. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you, this is your regular kitchen knife, right? This came out of a regular kitchen set. These blades are as thick as knife blades. They are mini knife blades set on a field point, held together by a screw. They have a little spacer, and that's what keeps it apart at 7/8 of an inch. And that's what makes these broadheads so durable. You won't break my blades. The key to this broadhead are these big, thick, single beveled, sharpened all the way down to the bottom, which comes together and makes that cutting point. That's key. It's real simple. The whole face cuts. The whole face is durable, hard, and therefore you're not going to break the blades, and they will stand up to any normal hunting shot that you're going to make.
God, she's done. She's done. She's done. She literally went 25 yards, I believe. In a broadhead, I want to cause the most trauma, the most devastation you can possibly cause, and that's exactly what you get with a fire in the hole broadhead. When it came to the damage or questions of what a 4-inch broadhead would do to any animal you shoot with it, that was never really a question in my mind. A 4-inch cutting diameter is just absolutely unheard of in a broadhead, and that's what intrigued me to fire in the hole. You know, my thing now is I want to punch the biggest hole, create the most blood loss, and have the greatest chance of recovering that animal. My best way I explain this broadhead to anyone is, think about it this way if you shoot a whitetail. If I hit this whitetail anywhere between the front shoulder and the hind quarter, it's like taking your fist and jamming your fist through that animal. There is nowhere on that whitetail that you can hit it like that and not recover it with a 4-inch hole in it. And just pure devastation that this broadhead does to an animal.
You stay away from these points. These points are extremely sharp. Even if you brush against them, they will cut you. So that's why we give you the dental band and stuff. Never, ever take this and try to do this like this. Please don't do that. Bad results. Okay, so when you get the 1x4 tomahawk, it will not have the rubber bands on them. A simple way to put the rubber bands on is use your dental applicating tool. Get your 3/16 extra heavy dental band that I put in the package of 20 with the applicator, just like that right there. Comes in the package with it. And you simply take your applicator, hold this. It's better to do this on an arrow. What you do is you put your rubber band here like this, just take it over like this, and then you simply stretch it over and put it over, and you're ready to go. Just make sure they're up there where the angles change. In firing position, there you go like this. Now that is that one rubber band will take care of 300 feet per second. And then if you have a crossbow, or my suggestion is go ahead and put the second rubber band on there no matter what. A crossbow compound, that way anybody picks up the broadhead, they can shoot it just fine, no problem whatsoever. Do the same thing again. And what I usually do is come down underneath the second one and then pop it in. See, then now they're kind of crisscrossed a little bit there. Now, it doesn't really matter how many rubber bands you put on there. And guys, whenever you're using rubber bands, inspect them once a month. If you see any rotting, any issues with them whatsoever, if they're starting to come apart and stuff, just change them. I give you 20 in the package. You can go get these things anywhere. You can get them off Amazon, 100 of them for 10 bucks. Okay, always change these bands. This is the biggest part of this broadhead. Change the bands regularly, you'll have no problems with this broadhead. It'll always stay closed. And you don't ever have to worry about it opening, because I don't care how many rubber bands you put on here, the animal actually acts as the trigger. This opening right here, the animal actually pushes that back. So put your rubber bands right up here, like they're supposed to be. put them on your crossbow or your compound, and go hunt your animal. One of the things I want to go over with you guys is on the 1x4 Tomahawk, it has a set screw in here. After you shoot a target or a deer several times, sometimes, not always, but these points will go back in underneath 7/8 of an inch. And it's real simple. Get you a T8, Torx Head 8, which is exactly what this screw is. And then all you simply have to do, put your T-Head 8 in there and just turn. See how the blades go back out? And what you're looking for is you're looking for 7/8 of an inch again. And you take it back out to 7/8 of an inch. You put your rubber bands back on and she's ready to go again.
Right here. She crashed hard. Good little shot there, man. All right, flip her over. Let's see that exit wound. That's what I'm curious of. Good nut. So yours was angling just a little bit, not hard. Good nut. Blood trail the whole way. Like, good nut. Look at that. Look here. Just, yeah, she's right there. There she is. I'm talking about, God, hey, look at all that. Look at all that blood. We got her. He got her good. Was it a broadside shot? No. No. Did I know that it would kill the deer? Yes, I did know it would kill the deer. Why would it kill the deer? Well, because it's a fire in the whole broadhead. Why wouldn't it kill a deer? It hit the mark. That's my biggest point. Was that it drilled exactly where I wanted the arrow to go. I knew that this arrow with a 4-inch cut, as it entered from here, 4 inches is slicing everything in its path. She ran 40 yards, piled up right here with a blood trail that you can't mistake.
Let me grab one of these arrows. I'll show you what I was using. Broadheads. So this is 7/8 of an inch. It makes contact with the deer. These rubber bands slide down the shaft of your arrow. And this opens up to 4 inches. I'll show you when I go out there and get that arrow. It was a pretty pass-through shot. The nocturnals. So far, we've been right down this trail. I seen it go down. I don't know if it was on film or not. We ran probably 25 yards. But there's a lot of people back at camp wondering if this broadhead would do the trick. It did. It did more than the trick. Especially that deer. This buck didn't go far. We're gonna get him pulled out of here, get him cleaned up a little bit. Really pretty chocolate horn buck. Let's get him pulled out of here.
Order your 1x4 Tomahawk at www.fireinthehole.com. Elevate your performance to the next level with the only 4-inch broadhead ever designed. The largest wound channel ever produced, it will outperform all other mechanical broadheads. Raise your hunting experience to the next level, the 4-inch level. Order a pack of 1x4 Tomahawks today at www.fireenthehole.com.
Now that we've shown you how these designs are a next level broadhead, Let me reinforce it by telling you what our customers and what we have seen personally. A double lung shot will be 2 to 3 seconds. They will go 20 to 30 yards. A liver shot, which I think is bad, will go 60 to 80 yards and will be dead in 8 to 10 seconds. And the worst shot of all, which is a gut shot, will cover 60 to 150 yards and be dead in less than 5 minutes. I know, everyone's telling me, well, we've never seen that before. I understand that. And the reason you've never seen it is because you haven't been with a broadhead company that has pushed that level. That's what makes these broadheads the next level broadhead. Anything between the legs is now a lethal shot. That's what these designs do. So you have to decide whether you want to make a 1-inch hole with my fixed blade or if you want to make a 4-inch cut with my mechanical. You will not find any other broadhead on the market that will perform at the higher level that these broadheads perform. There is no other broadhead that removes the material completely out of the deer. This is the only one. Anything that goes through this ring is removed out of that deer. And this one flies like a field point at 7/8 of an inch and then opens to a full 4 inches. This has never been done. And it will outperform any 2-inch, any 2 3/4 inch, any other mechanical broadhead. This will kill them faster and put them on the ground a lot easier. Your blood trails are insane with both of these broadheads. It's like pouring out a 5-gallon bucket all the way to them. You will not have a problem finding your deer. You will not have a problem with restless nights trying to figure out whether or not I killed that animal. If you go more than 150 yards with either one of these broadheads tracking, you didn't hit something that bleeds correctly. Because if you go past 150 yards tracking with these broadheads and you don't find your animal, you're not going to. Your odds of finding that deer after 150 yards is almost zero. Because you didn't hit something that bleeds. Because they do so much damage that if they go 150 yards, they should have already bled out. A 1-inch hole out of an animal, it's a complete plug. It takes material out of that animal. And a 4-inch cut is just insane. That's why I decided to push the next level. And I'm still working on more broadhead designs in the future. So if you want a next level broadhead, if you want something that performs different and better and quicker than anything else on the market, buy one of the Fire in the Hole broadheads. You won't be disappointed.